Am I coming through? Hello? Hey, this scene hasn't been used since we came back. So it's doing that weird thing where there's no sound. There should be sound now. But Rach is trying out some kind of microphone.
Can't leave your microphone there.
No, I'm not going to leave it there. I've got to... The thing that controls the sound is like at the back of the desk because I don't usually have to touch it. So I think I can move it like off that bit of screen. Well, you're not going to see this bit of screen anyway because we're just going to do some story in a little bit. But I need to set her microphone up. Why don't you tell us about Dimera, Rach? Tell us about the exciting world of animals we're about to play in, and I will turn your volume up. You need to be in the yellowy bit. All right. I heard a breath.
Just do my side.
Oh, there we go.
You can read about different aspects of the game world below to learn more about the setting.
Go on.
More?
A bit more.
The exciting world of animal folks. In the world of Dimeria, intelligent animal folks have risen to build civilizations.
I think that's about right. Is Rach about as loud as me now? Well, we can tweak it as we're going. But yeah. Rach has hopefully got a better sounding microphone. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if that microphone is getting sent straight back where it came from. But hey, sounds good. Great. So, thanks everyone for being here. We are going to play some Lands of Galzyr, which I did a prototype playthrough for about a year ago. At the beginning of August last year when it was on GameFound crowdfunding. I should just be vague and say crowdfunding. I don't remember exactly where everything was. And yeah, it got funded and it is produced. It's been sent to backers. I've got a copy here of the final thing because it'll be similar if you saw that video, but there is now way more story. There's now a complete thing. There's a whole great big tray of cards that Rach will be handling. So like all the quests, items and things handled on these cards. There is also, well, here's how we can check all the buttons work as well. There it is. There's a browser window. There is an app. Well, there's a website that you need to go to. The website is the Book of Adventures. So rather than having a great big book of all these things and having to print all of that out, it's on a website instead. So it can also be tweaked and updated and translated and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you need to navigate to that. You've got the game for everything else. We've got a zoom in camera that's hopefully going to work. Rachel's just a step ahead of me. What do you mean, like a little bit louder? Hey Andreas. Hey James. Hey Matt. Hello everybody here. I forgot to say hello to them. I think it's at 30. How's it seeming, Paul? Me and Paul have been trying to navigate YouTube
I only move at 25.
troubles. This camera can only see at 25. This camera sees it whatever we tell it to. And YouTube isn't really fussed. It will make it stutter either way. If you do ever watch one of these lives after it's finished and it's stuttering for a bit, it will be fine once YouTube's finished messing around with it. I can't do much about it, unfortunately. I'm still tweaking things, but I don't think they're going to have any effect. Right, so that was all. You didn't see any of that. This is the beginning of it. Hi everyone. So we're going to be playing Lands of Galzyr. That's the point where I'll put the timestamp. Marty, I think, is sunbathing elsewhere.
He is.
Until he
on the
realises,
sofa.
yeah, he was curled up on the sofa last time I saw him. But I don't know, especially as it gets closer to food time, he might realise we're both up here and curl up for a bit. He did last time, didn't he? I think.
That was a long time
Oh, that
ago.
was a long time ago. He was on both streams though last week, wasn't he? It's just, yeah, it's up to him, and we're not going to drag him up here for him to run straight back downstairs, which is a good chance that he'll do. So for now, yeah, he's sunbathing elsewhere. So yes, this is Dimeria, a world of animal folks. You might recognise this world from such games as Dawn of Peacemakers and Dale of Merchants. Any of the Dale of Merchants. It's the same world. It's the same, animal folk of that world. But rather than peacekeeping or trading goods and deck building, we are just going off on adventures and going off, the prototype that I played. We're still, finding out stories, going on these tales, but they're not so much, the world is ending and you people are going to be heroes. It's like, this needs doing. Will you go over here and do something about it? Try and use your skills, upgrade your skills, get a bit better. Like it's not
Meander about and do stuff.
yeah. But like as I say, we only had a prototype, which was kind of it wasn't just the beginning of the game, but it was a more limited version of the game. So we'll see like what is in some of this final stuff. And I thought I'll do the other two characters. It's a game for up to 4 players. So we have Boomir, the marbled polecat. That's me. And Rach is Keridai, the northern banded newt. And I think... Oh, thanks, Andreas. Yes, I haven't set the gold. That is just the number they were set at when I put them together. Little wheels to track your gold.
What money were we on before?
Just whatever it was at when I pushed the
Bet I had no
cardboard
money.
together. Probably. These are the skills you start at as well, by the way. The skill system is quite cool in that you will only ever have 4 skill points, but you can change what they'll be at certain points in the game, and they determine special skill dice that you can roll. There are the standard dice that are black, that have just got 1 of each of the skills on their faces, but your specialised dice are really good at the dice they're specialised at, somewhat good at the skills either side of them, a bit rubbish for everything else. So yeah, if you're testing a skill that you're skilled at, or it's adjacent to one that you're skilled at, you want to use your special groovy dice. So Rach, have you got some scene setting in front of you where we can meet the adventurers? And I think it's not going to be perfectly lined
Maybe.
up, but I think we can zoom in on it. Look at that.
Zoom in. What do you want me to read the first bit?
Yeah, that's not going to be zoomed in on. You could put that in your play area. It won't be completely clear. But yeah, I've set up a camera to see the cards more than anything. Not a big A4 sheet. So you can set the scene of the world, Rach. Nice cough.
Just for everyone. Got a bit of a... In the world of Dimeria, intelligent animal folks have risen to build civilizations, each with their own defining traits and unique cultures. There are reckless polecats, scheming magpies, enthusiastic turtles, and many other colourful folks with their own attitudes towards life. In the current age of trade, animal folks are more interconnected than ever before. The discovery of steam power and other great inventions have transformed society, easing travel and supercharging industry. This newfound prosperity has brought stability and cooperation, as well as unprecedented prestige to capable merchants. However, even amidst all that, some folks have never lost their love for adventure. 4 adventurers from each from different corners of the world have made their way to Galzyr. Each one starts their first game with a unique quest that tells the story of their arrival and the challenges that await them. So we'll have different strengths and weaknesses, but we'll decide the direction they go.
Okay. So we've got... Am I going to fit his story in? Well, just about.
We'll cut off his ear. Bamir is as tough as nails polecat, who is no stranger to adventures. He's been on one for decades. A fearless, wandering soul, he is always after the next forgotten ruin or buried treasure that catches his eye. His latest find has led him to Galzyr, the home region he left behind a long time ago.
And we've also got...
Keridai. There we go. Keridai is a scholarly newt, keen on uncovering the mysteries of the world. Yearning for something to challenge her immense cognitive abilities, she typically follows trails of breadcrumbs left in ancient manuscripts. However, a curious request has lured her away from her books in the Middle East and into Galzyr.
So that's who we are. So the structure of the game itself is very simple. There's a...
Whoa.
What?
You forgot this little bit of information here.
It's going to be important.
It is. Over the years, many seekers of adventure have set their sights on Galzyr, a diverse region by the Black Sea where Europe and Asia meet, and Galzyr has only one thing to say in response. They've come to the right place. Being a polecat territory, it is a place where boldness and risk-taking are held in high regard, and fame naturally follows those who brave the unknown and leave their mark on the world. Whether or not Bamir and Keridai can make it in these strange and tumultuous lands remains to be seen. Where their adventures take them, and should they work together or not, is all up to you.
Okay.
There we go.
So around a day of Lands of Galzyr is really simple to do. So the first stage is travel. You can move up to 2 spaces. There are these city spaces, town spaces that you can move to. There's all sorts of other spaces signposted on the map. You can move up to 2 spaces. In between, before, after any of that movement, you can trade money, you can trade items with other players that are in the same space as you. You can pick up quests. Anywhere that you see these big purple markers here are where we can put quests. This is the notice board up in the corner, and it's where people have put some of their requests. So you can see a kind of vague idea of what that quest might entail and where you can go and pick that quest up. Rachel will have a better job reading some of them. They're far away from me. So yeah, we can go to one of those. We don't actually start on the board just yet though, because we've got to do our starting quests. So that's what we'll do just for the very, this is an ongoing game as well. So you can play it competitively or cooperatively. Depending on the number of players, you get a certain number of rounds of days. So the app, we told it what month it is. That's random based on certain things that you do to shuffle the deck in the setup. It's all covered in the setup page. And yeah, we are starting in April here. You tell the app that, it tells you what day to start on. So here it says that we've got 7 days to do the cooperative mode. So next Monday is going to be the end of it. And yeah, that's basically it. We've got our starting quests that we're on, that we'll do on our turn. But in future games, the world is persistent. So things that you do, choices you make, things you find, will stay with your character, will affect the cards that are available in the world. And so in a future game, we wouldn't have these special quests that we start on. We would choose somewhere on the board where we want to be and move on from there. But yeah, just to get us started, you've got some special quests to begin with. So I think that's what we need to do to start with. So you're the first player, Rach.
Cool beans.
Your turn starts a new day. So you can put your story on screen in this area.
What is this
Is that big
wizardry?
enough? Oh, look at that. It's back. The green screen works vaguely.
So, test of will. You've been summoned to Galzyr by your old associates. The details were scarce, but it seems that the matter concerns Sophron, your late squirrel colleague and friend. So I cannot abandon this quest.
And this lightning bolt might occur again on some cards. This is a mandatory thing. Sometimes you'll have a choice of some story things to do, especially if you're in a city. So, the card also tells us the little storybook entry over here. Oh, this is going to get confusing, isn't it? 0087. So if you see 4 numbers and that book, it means that's a storybook encounter. If you see 3 numbers, it's going to be a card that you find in the tray. So this is going to be, go into the browser, and what's the number, H?
87.
0087.
Activate.
The keyboard's on the floor. But it'll work, I think. So there you go, Rach.
Metamorphosis, that's the word that springs to mind while you observe the approaching skyline from the ship's deck. The large dome shape of the library remains a distinct central figure, but the walled city around it has grown in unpredictable ways since you last visited. However, that doesn't exactly surprise you. Polecats are numerous here, like in the entire region, and they're an intriguing folk, very different from northern banded newts like you. The locals especially seem to always push for change. Then again, you surmise a lot to stay the same still. Perhaps you should seek out your old roommate, Chimmy, if you have the time. A pelican sailor's shouting interrupts your introspection, announcing that the ship is preparing to dock. Remove to the adventurer's figure to Arhin. Here I am.
So you're in there. And then
Head to your cabin to prepare. Oh, as you pack, you think back to your time in Arhin. A born scholar, just like your parents and grandparents, you were drawn here by the city's prestigious university and all the things you could learn. A particularly curious subject was the nature of animal folks. It wasn't exactly your field, but you lent your skills to the aid of Sophron, your squirrel teacher, friend, and an expert on hoarding data. The thing is, he died recently, and shortly after, you were summoned by Landra, the chameleon who leads the university's council. You can't help but infer that the two things are likely related. You'll find out soon enough as you grab the rest of your baggage and head ashore, prepared to meet whatever academic challenges await. Give 2 random 150s from the library to the adventurer.
Okay, so the library is the cards. So Rach's going to grab 2 random 150s. And there's all dividers and stuff in the card trays for you to grab things quickly.
A lot of choices. Oh. Got a skill as well.
We've each got some starting things. Have a look at that while we wait, if it would take us to you. So that's the starting point that we saw. Rach has got power of mind. You spent decades honing your mind into a weapon of analytical brilliance. When truly tested, you find approaches others could barely comprehend. Before a skill check, you can discard this to replace the tested skill with a skill of your choice. One you're really good at, probably. And I've got... It works. Unyielding spirit. A life of adventure has shaped you, made you resilient and defiant. In a dire situation, when others would yield, your inner strength surges forth. Before revealing outcomes, you can discard this to replace your dice pool with these dice shown below. That's loads of dice. Roll them and use the result.
Right. So I've got 2 items.
Let's try to show them on the big zoom in.
Style guide. Each year, Saharan releases a new edition of his Supreme Style Guide, adding to its already intimidating size. In it, the exquisite bowerbird author can convince anyone of the importance of following the latest trends in fashion. So if I have like a entertainment skill check, what's the name for that? Communication skill check. I can reroll up to a 1 dice and convert 1 books into... Is that reputation?
A success.
Oh, just a success.
The star is a success, and there's kind of a broken star is failure. And you'll need, and you might need a particular number of successes. You might not know how many successes you need.
And I've got a travel guide written by the world famous author Akakaban. This compendium lists the hottest attractions in Galzyr, from bathhouses to theatres. Burroway Publishing wishes you a lovely vacation. So I could use it to recall. Get a success and reroll
if you're doing a test that's recall.
Okay, I see. Yeah. And then if I'm doing something that's explore.
Yeah.
Reroll up to 3.
Reroll up to 3. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are they just one-time uses?
So continue on there. If it doesn't say you get rid of them,
okay,
then you can keep them in.
Oh, it's got more.
You got more story. This is your opening.
An hour later, you ascend the familiar stone steps of the university and step through the massive wooden doors. The inside is much like you remember, unlike the rest of the city, so you walk right into the council's wing and state your business to the beaver clerk there. You're early, she says, examining her papers. The councillor's still in the middle of a meeting, discussing Sophron's will. Interesting. You step towards the council room, but the beaver stops you. You'll have to wait. The protocol states they're not to be disturbed. At that, you feel a twinge of annoyance. Here comes the protocol, once again standing in your way and wasting your time, limiting your potential. How typical. So, if I choose an option with a skill check, select it before resolving the check.
Yeah. So you can sneak into the meeting, which is an easy thievery check. You can intimidate the clerk to let you in, which is a medium communications check, or you can wait until you're called for.
Well,
so if we have a look at your character...
Well, let's be honest. Karadai does not seem the type that would just wait.
No, so sneaking, you're not terrible at, right? It is adjacent to one of the skills you are good at. So there's a chance. Communication, I'd say you've got a really good chance.
Communication, I've got a little blue thing, but I've also got something that lets me re-roll.
Yeah, it is a medium check, but you have got a lot of things that help you. Or you can just...
and convert a book into a success.
Or you can just hang on.
No.
No? Okay, then, so we press...
I want to intimidate.
Rachel's been intimidating. Oh, and it reminds you as well that here's your optimal dice pool. So you've got 5 dice, basically. You can just have the 5 basic black dice. Each face is one of the 6 skills. So 1 in 6 chance of a success on there. But if you use your skills, so Rach you definitely want to use communication. It's the skill we're testing. It's got more communication faces on it. It's got faces where you could get 2 successes on there. But also the adjacent skills like books, really good at, I've got the rulebook here so I can say the proper names, really good at knowledge checks, but also it's got faces on there for communication as well. So a better chance of you doing communication, 1 in 3 chance of you getting communication, but no good for the non-adjacent skills. It's got none of those faces on it, so you wouldn't use it for one of those checks. So the app's kind of reminding you, I wonder if it does that all the way through. The app's reminding you that this would be your optimal pool then.
No, a dark blue dice. A dark blue and a light blue.
Oh, I've got another light blue. You've already got a light blue. Right, so I haven't really got a great place you can roll the dice. I had room for a dice tray before. Alright, where we can see them. And some of your cards might influence the skill check.
What do I need?
So, you roll the dice,
Faces.
and then you can do things that manipulate those dice. You get 1 shot at re-rolling the whole thing, though.
But what picture is a success? The face.
You want the skill that's being tested,
How have
so
I got no
communication.
faces?
So you failed miserably at that. You can convert a book. You could re-roll up to 1 of them and convert a book into a success, but that would be your only success, right?
So that could be a success and re-roll a dice, so I could...
Or you could just re-roll, but you might want to...
I can re-roll them all?
You can re-roll all of them once. It's got to be all of them. But in this case,
Oh, yeah,
you've got nothing,
sure.
so you've got nothing to lose. So you'd want to use your guide's ability after you've had your shot at re-rolling all of them. There you go. Way better.
How many successes do I need?
You don't know.
Okay, well...
You just know that it's a medium
Well,
test.
that's 4. And then I may as well convert this into another.
Yeah, and you can re-roll.
Oh, yeah, rock on. Yeah.
Well, there you go. So how many's there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, that should come up on any scene, actually. Reveal the outcomes. You only needed 3.
Ah.
So 3 or more.
With well-researched examples, you make it abundantly, excruciatingly clear to the beaver that disobeying her superiors is far preferable to disappointing you, and waiting around idly is against your nature, and therefore extremely disappointing. When you move to the door, the clerk doesn't dare squeak a word in protest. As you about to enter, you hear Langer's voice, and the chameleon's words give you pause. "I've known both for a long time," she says. "They never falsify research. The mere accusation. His will all but confirms it," another voice interrupts. "Besides, Caradai was young and uppity, and Saffron's methods were always controversial. Read the part again. To Caradai I leave the true results of our research. Do with it as you will." The discussion continues, but you've heard enough, feeling indignation building. It's time to make your voice heard, and you have the element of surprise on your side to make it especially weighty. So, if you slam, you can convert a hand into a sneak into a success.
A thievery.
So what? Okay, thievery.
Yeah.
I could slam the table to show my displeasure, or recall my research.
Oh, and I'm just saying here that easy, for a good outcome, easy you need 1, medium 2, hard 3.
Okay, I see.
So you can slam the table and you've got that ability to convert a thievery into a success. And that's easy, but you're not very good at it, or many of its adjacent things at all.
Or I could just do communication again.
Well, it would.
Is that what it was?
It's knowledge.
Books.
Knowledge
Sorry,
this time,
yeah.
which you are good at. You wouldn't have as many specialised dice, but like if you look at the keyword that you're doing, you're recalling, which
Oh yeah.
is what you travelled up.
Already
your
get an
travel
automatic success and reroll up to a dice.
guide. Yeah.
Okay, so I will recall my research.
So it is. I think it is your starting quest.
Yeah,
it's
it's
giving
trying
you
to tell me to
yeah.
do that, really, isn't it? Or,
Yeah.
or to encourage.
giving you a softball,
So you get a blacken anyway, don't you?
and it's reminding you as well. This should be your best available dice pool unless you used something.
Do I get 2 green and a blue? That's it.
and 2 black. You've always got 5
2
dice. Yeah. Whatever you haven't got with your dice, you make up for with the basic ones. So there we go. That's loads, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I needed books.
So 2, 3.
So I get
an
a
automatic one.
and re-roll. It's just a face.
So that's 4, right?
Mm-hmm. Boom. 4+. To the council's surprise, you step forward and launch into a well-prepared defence of your past research on animal folk behaviour, outlining your sources and methodology in painstaking detail. You see the council's expression shift from doubtful to impressed as you thoroughly debunk the idea that you falsified anything, or had any incentive to. Very impressive, Langer finally says, on all counts. But have you any idea what Sophron's words meant then? You have a theory, but you need to find evidence, perhaps from Sophron's old study in Meritu. As you're about to leave, the chameleon addresses you once more. Please take these funds, a small token of gratitude for the service done to our university. And welcome back, Caradai. You earned 2 prestige.
So prestige, we're tracking up at the top of the board here.
2 for me. Gain 4 gold.
That's on your wheel. And then test of will gets returned to the library. That's the quest Rach just did, a starting quest.
Goodbye.
So that goes into the main stack of cards now. Yeah, the library's the main big deck there.
1, 1, 1, 1.
And then
What quest am I getting?
you need 2, 2, 4. And it tells you, this is it, end of scene. That's your turn.
What was it? 2,
2, 2, 4.
Oh, 2, 2, 4.
So that's Rach's turn. Boomir.
Do we read out my quest or not?
Oh, you can.
2, 2, 4.
Well, it's part 2. It's what we've just read.
Yeah. Oh, I see. What the new information?
Yeah.
You should locate his remote study in Meritu to find more information.
You were just told that.
And then...
So yeah, you want to go to the station in Meritu. So once Rach is in Meritu,
Just confirm me
she's
what
now
it-
got an extra option in there. So the handshake on there means that if I'm also in Meritu, I can help with the adventure, with the quests that are on there. But I don't know where I'm going to be just yet. So let's have a look at my buried secrets. Following a map, you've come to Galzyr in search of treasure. Business as usual, but what surprises could the place you grew up in possibly offer? So I start my questing in 84. And here we go. After a long trek, your objective finally looms on the horizon, the crumbling walls of a town ravaged by war. From what you've heard, it was once populated by marbled polecats like you, but now the buildings have collapsed and buried those memories beneath decades of dust. Only mundane mortal dangers remain, but perhaps something else lies there as well, like a worthy adventure if your map is to be believed. You grin and pick up your pace. If there's anything to be found in the tunnels below, you'll find it. That's what you've promised yourself. Move the adventurer's figure to Teshun, which is about 1,000,000 miles away. And then we are heading inside the ruined town, if the button works. Not the button on the website, the button on my streaming thing. As you approach Teshun, you take in the sights. This is the first time you've been back to Galzyr in years. In fact, you've actively avoided the place after you left at a young age. You swore to pursue the greatest adventurers, relentlessly, living a life of no regrets, and that's what you've done. However, a while back you ran into an ocelot gambler who insisted there's treasure hidden below Teshun. Despite your skepticism, you set out at once. Otherwise, you might miss something big, and you cannot bear the thought of that. Your gaze wanders back to the crumbling but still suffocating looking walls. Whatever challenges this place has for you, you'll persevere, for you came prepared. So I get a random 100, like... Rach got 2 150s, so I get a random 100 and a random 200.
I'm just doing the 200 now.
So, have a look at my 100. I've got some hiking boots. A good pair of boots is the ultimate outdoor apparel. Although some folks refuse to use them on principle for lack of a proper fit. So I've got some benefits if I do explore or climb actions. And a miner's cap. A light source which leaves your hands free. That's the future of mining and spelunking. And you can see the stuff as well. and I think we mentioned before, is it's all got keywords on it as well that might be like used by other things. So as well as the skill checks having keywords on them, the items themselves might come in useful too. Well, this is going to get put back eventually, isn't it?
Do you reckon so?
So we've had the cards. You find an entrance to the tunnels easily enough and smile as the invigorating aroma of stale air hits you. It's the familiar smell only old ruins like this have. It makes you feel at home, or so you think. You aren't exactly sure what that's like. Nevertheless, the map you've got stops here. Although calling it a map is a bit generous. It's poorly drawn, smeared and utterly unreliable, just the way you like it. You'd have to rely on your wits from now on. However, someone has drawn a scribble to the side, depicting a symbol of some kind carved on a wall. It could be an ocelot face, but you cannot be sure. Perhaps you should try that. So I can either explore the ruins, a medium survival check, and I'm pretty decent at that, or I could search for more markings, an easy perception check. So explore or search, I think I'm
You've got both of those
decent at both of
keywords
those.
as well, yeah.
If we look on my... So exploring, I've got 2 skill on exploring, and I've got an adjacent one as well, so some decent dice. I would get to re-roll a die and get a success and re-roll one. And these have just been random that I've picked up as well. Search is easy, and I would get a success as well. Now let's explore these ruins. Let's go for it. Watch me go for the medium one and fail miserably. So I need some dice to roll. And my cards might influence the success of the check. So let's have a look at my first roll. It's medium, so we're going to need 2, right? And what do I want? None of that. So I think the standard reroll of all of the dice. Definitely. And, oh, here we go. We've got some successes now. There's 3. I'm exploring, aren't I? So there's 4, and I could re-roll up to 2 of them, but I think, like, let's check the outcomes. I don't think I really need to. Oh, yeah, I've already got 4, so that's okay. We don't need to do anything else. Sometimes you surprise yourself with how easily this stuff comes to you. In a short time, you not only completely map out the surroundings, but also figure out you're not alone down here. Following the obvious signs of life and the worsening stench, you come upon an abode of sorts. You find its inhabitants in the middle of a meal, if you can call stuffing your face with an assortment of moss and various bugs that. The surprised rat cowers, awkwardly fidgeting with his tattered, soiled robes. Sunfolk win, find home, he finally says, his voice gravelly and words fumbling. Is take to Boxstone, then leave, yes? You take the opportunity to follow the rat to another room where you find a sturdy-looking locked stone chest. Watch blade, the rat says, showing a scar on his left arm, under lid. In a few words, he explains how he opened a similar chest, then retreats back into the darkness. You take a deep breath and get to work. So I can unlock the chest for an easy thievery check, or force the chest open for a medium strength might check. So I don't know with that, because like I'm pretty decent at both of them. I've got to watch the blade under the lid. I'm not good at either of those things, am I? Unlock or force. I'm not particularly good at any of those. I have got my thing where I can discard and replace my dice pool if I really want it.
You'll get more dice. Oh no, well, not necessarily more dice, but more maybe useful dice if you do the...
Yeah, for either thing...
But then that's medium, so it needs more anyway.
Yeah, for either thing, I've just got... I've got a much better dice pool for might, though.
Yeah.
I would have 4 custom dice. Whereas for the thievery, I would have 2 still, and I would only need 1 success. Which I've got no rerolls on any of the things. I've got the standard, you can reroll everything if you want. Let's try and force it open. Let's try do the difficult thing. So again, it can tell us if we want to just check. Like, these are the dice that you should be using. But I don't think my dice are going to influence the check this time. Well, we need swords. And we get... Oh, swords.
That's quite a good roll there for.
That's pretty good. I'm not going to risk anything there. I think it could only get worse. So reveal outcomes. We got 4. Pretty lucky. The stone chest yields in the face of your relentless curiosity, and you routinely step aside as some ancient mechanism strikes harmlessly past you before falling apart completely. Eagerly, you push the remains aside and peer inside the chest. Among all the decayed junk, you spot something interesting, a peculiar stone pendant. It depicts a mountain peak and a rising sun behind it, and it looks increasingly familiar the longer you look at it. The more you ponder, the surer you are that you've seen the pendant before, in Rienstum, many years ago. Why is it here? A familiar sense of adventure rises within you, telling you you must get to the bottom of this, despite the danger that awaits. This is what you were born to do. You earn 2 prestige. I've caught up then. We both got 2. Return the quest you just had, and then you get a couple of cards from the library.
Right. So 63 is a little, I don't know, trait card. It's also a little bit green.
It's got green on it.
It's whatever this is.
So that's like your
Status.
your status that you started with, yeah. It's just the same symbol as that.
So that goes to you.
So adventurous. So if I do any unlock, explore, and search, I can get a success from that. But if my total is 4 or less, I lose my adventurous nature. Okay.
I like that little picture.
What else have I got? I've got my part 2. We've just read to go to Rienstum, so that's where I'll probably be heading in the future. Rach can help me there as well.
Think about it.
We're both a bit of a way away from each other though. Although I don't think either of us can get to our quest places in one turn anyway.
Oh, 2 turns, I think.
Yeah. Right then. So I've got my buried secrets number 2. So
Is that like a stopping space, or is it just part of in there? It's just part of in there.
yeah, when you're in Meritu, you can do any of the stuff that's in the city, and you can pick up you can choose to pick up the quest that's been posted in there, because it's not just about your main quest as well. You want to talk to these people and find this stuff that's about.
End of scene.
So end of scene, and you can see this as well. You can say, well, that's it. When Rachel's got the token, when it's your turn, that signifies a new day. Tell the app that it's a new day, and yeah, there's also.
Does that make a difference?
There's another kind of board and stuff.
The different things happen on different days.
I'm not sure. There's
Maybe
another side of board and another side of cards for like the different periods of time as well. So we're on Tuesday. A day has gone. What do you want to do, Rach?
Just reading the tips on there. I would always try and get as many successes as possible.
I'll look at for the starting quest. I'll just look at the number of outcomes to see. Just so I'm moving on. If we weren't streaming, absolutely.
Right. So I'm going to head to Meritu.
Yes.
Now I can either have what's this, a grass adventure,
Yeah.
or a tree adventure with a boat.
Oh, I'm missing a card.
What do you mean?
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, you have a adventure.
So I could have a
from this deck.
grassland, or I could have a forest and a port adventure.
So I'm just checking.
What are you on about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm going to move, and I'm going to go to the port in the forest.
This is what the day has an effect on. So
Oh, is it on my turn yet?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so you've moved. You could stay in Arhin, of course, and do stuff that's in there.
Now I'm heading for I've only got 7 days.
So if you're just out and about, and you're not doing a quest that's on a card or anything like that, you draw an event card, and the event card's going to have some things on it.
It's also green.
You work your way down until something is true. So sometimes a day of the week is on one of these event cards, and that will make a difference. It's Tuesday right now, but in this
I'm
case,
not exhausted. I'm not a settlement. I'm not a grassland, but I am at a forest. 2 for 4.
Yep.
Is that card, or is that a thing?
it's adventure. It's
Okay.
got 4 numbers.
2, 4, 4. I think
So
I'll
tap
have
it in. Does the library have card 287? I should think so.
Yes.
But, yeah. Is the adventurer Keradai?
You see one of your old classmates, Chimmy the desert rain frog, weeping by the roadside. Oh, Keradai, she squeaks in a high-pitched voice after you tease her about not graduating yet. No fair. Not everyone is as smart as you. You ask her what is wrong. It's Arbor. He's being so mean. You have heard of him. A rude cat that funds Arhin University's expeditions, loves money and treats others like dirt. Chimmy brightens up when you offer to help. She anxiously leads you to an ancient shrine in the woods that a few of your old classmates are working on. Some dig up ceramic shards, while others are excavating a stone tablet with writing on it. Could you morons work any slower? Arbor yells at them. Achievement unlocked. Reunion.
And there is an achievement sheet that comes with the game. So I don't know how you want to signify that, Rach. But you've unlocked that achievement.
Dun, 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 dun. What does it say I get to do?
Nothing, it's just see a familiar face.
Oh.
It's like a little clue of how to do them. What do you get for unlocking Xbox achievements, Rach? Pride.
Points.
No gamer score here.
Points.
Yeah, we've marked that off in some way. Do you have a gunpowder tag? So this is the,
No.
the turquoise tags on your items and
I don't.
abilities and stuff? Nope.
If you inspect, each reading and scholar gives you 2. Ooh.
So you can inspect the ceramic shards, which is a hard observation
And I
check.
haven't got any of those tags.
Intimidate the boss for a medium communication check, or leave the dig site.
Right, well,
You've been very intimidating so far.
inspect is going to be extremely hard, so I'm going to have to quit that out.
So you've got no keywords that help you
No.
with that, but you
No.
have got
I haven't got reading and scholar,
Communication
and I
check.
haven't got inspect. But intimidate the boss
your
is
communication check.
communication. Is a good role for me, so I'll choose intimidate the boss, please.
Okay.
So I get a light blue, a dark blue, 2 greens, and a black. Is that right?
Yep. So you've got 3 successes, and you can convert the book to a success and re-roll one. So are you sticking with that, or do you want to re-roll them all?
I'll sit with 4.
Okay. And that was the best outcome.
Giving Arbor the fright of his life, he quickly quiets down and shivers in your shadow. I'm sorry, he whimpers to you, reminding him that it is not you who the apology is owed to. The cat spins around to the students and deeply bows, begging them for forgiveness. Without being harassed, the students finish their work with higher spirits. They thank you for making their lives just a little bit easier. When the work is complete, the students pack up all the relics they have found and head out with Arbor. The cat seems to have kept his newfound kindness, well, at least for now. Chimmy gathers her things and strolls over to you. Since you helped us, I want to return the favour, she squeaks. Can I tag along? 1 prestige.
I wonder what you're going to find on that card. Have you got it?
Yep.
Pop it on the green screen.
Here she is. Chimmy. Arhin University is the source of many great minds, Chimmy being one of them. So she'll help me with recalling and sneaking and convincing, and I have to discard her in 5 days. I assume that's 5 days.
Yeah, so what you do when you get these time things, we do have one that is the timer for the game as well. Game comes with all of these tokens that are pairs, basically. Just find one you like that you can see 2 of.
Gimme.
You put 1 on the thing that's being timed, and it tells you how long you've got this for. So 5 days, count 5 days. So on Sunday, Chimmy's going to have something else to do.
She's a frog. So
It is good
chosen
actually
frog.
if you find a party member later on, you won't get as much use of them, but they will stick around for the next game and you'll get their full time again.
That's cool, isn't it?
Okay, so there's some extra abilities and things going on there. That's the end of Rach's scene. So it's up to me now. Shall I come and help you in Meritu?
if you'd like to.
Or shall I just go on to
Oh, you could head over to
Reinstrom?
Reinstrom. And then I could pop by, swing
If
by
we-
later.
Should tell you about the partner thing. So yeah, you're more likely to succeed, but your partner will receive rewards as well, which is only it's only saying that as a potential downside because you can play it competitively as well, where you're trying to get the most prestige in the time that you've got. You can still only begin scenes available to you. You can't begin other people's scenes. So you still make all of the decisions, but your partner can give you access to any of the things that they own. It can be any of the skill marks they have, any items, companions, statuses, any amount of money, because it might ask you to spend an amount of money at a thing that you're trying to do. And any tags as well on their adventure board apply to you. The maximum number of each die you can have, though, is 2. There are only 2 of each advanced die. You can also, remember, once you're on the same space, trade items and gold that you've found. I'm going to make my way over, Rach. I'm nice.
Alright then.
So, the event card that I get, it is Tuesday. That's
The
the first option right there. Is it Tuesday? Yes, it is. So, just get that entry up, 119. While sitting at an inn, you watch a group of robed ostriches sitting at a table. Their leader explains the test of oblivion. He rattles a pouch and shows them an odd container. The goal is to open this box. The pieces in this bag must be arranged correctly on top of it to do so. Those who try are only allowed a distant and brief glance at how they fit together. A little weasel at the bar cackles. Sounds dumb. The leader sighs. If only we had less irritating distractions to contend with. The belligerent snarls. You want to fight? I've got all my blokes outside and I'll call them in. I thought you learned your lesson about being cocky when I took your other dumb trinket and threw it out the window. Do you have a burglary tag? No, I do not. So I can observe the puzzle pieces, but I don't know how hard that test is. That's an observation test that I'm pretty poor at. I've got nothing that helps observe. Or I can fight the little weasel and his friends. Another unknown check, which is might, which I'm much better at. I've got no abilities that help me with either of those kinds of tests. Or I can just ignore them and enjoy my stay. I think we'll fight the little weasel. Because, I'm not so good on the observation front. The fighting front, though, is more Boomia's style. So for might, it's the same check as last time, isn't it? That's what I tested last time. But yeah, I've got no keywords that help with fight. Unfortunately, I've just got me a standard reroll. So, we did quite badly. 1.
Reroll.
Got to reroll them all. And yeah, I suppose 0 could be worse. But 1's not great, is it? I think here's where we come into contact with some failure. And, better. 2. We don't know the difficulty, but we'll see how we get on with 2. Oh,
Wowie.
1.
Oh,
That was an option as
you
well.
have got one.
Oh, I have got one. Oh, is that worse though? Because that's further left.
Because that's survival. That symbol is survival.
Yeah. So do I just choose actually with that one?
Well, yeah, because you could do that.
You select the leftmost matching outcome.
Uh-oh.
So
Are you just going to run away, do you think?
maybe that's better than getting very few successes.
Well, you have to choose it either way.
That's interesting. I don't remember that from before. Maybe it did then. It's been a year. Instead of trying to knock some sense into the little weasel and his friends, you could go out and find that item they previously took from the ostriches. It couldn't have gone too far from here. Oh, here we go. So, I've got a choice now. I can explore outside for the trinket. Explore, I've got tons of things for. Or I can carry on fighting.
I would say trinket.
I think let's
Your little
calm
mind,
everything.
your little
Let's calm everything down.
Your little mind's
Chill out,
working.
guys. So explore, we've got a lot of things going on for. We're going to have to change the dice a bit. We can't use the
Pink.
thievery one anymore. So we're going to have to swap that out for a basic. But we've got 3 things that affect explore checks. So let's have a look. So we want... That's probably a reroll, right? Because I lose this if I don't get 4
We've got no tents.
or more. Yeah, so there's no point keeping that. And there we go. So I've got 3 to start us off with. Gain 1 and reroll. So that's 4. Reroll it into the same thing. Explore, reroll 1. Nope. But this adds 1. If the total is 4 or less, it's now 5. Discard. So I remain adventurous. I got 5 successes on that. Heading outside, you explore the area around the inn to find whatever it is that was taken from the ostriches. You don't know what it is, but feel confident that you have found it. A transparent cube made of crystal with markings matching that of the box the lead ostrich was showing his group. You return to the inn and give the cube back to the group, who applaud you for selflessly retrieving their relic. The little weasel sneers at the recovery, but doesn't bother you. The ostrich leader puts a wing on your shoulder. You are most impressive. We are tenders of stuff. But a new event is coming out and finding its way into the event deck as well. Getting shuffled in. Have you got card 61, Rach?
Yeah. Another status.
Inner fire. I'm heated and upbeat. Your passion burns red hot and your body yearns for action. Anything to satisfy the fire within. In 3 types of skill checks, hasten 1. Now I'm good at sneak, fight, and climb. It's only lasting for 4 rounds, but that's pretty decent, isn't it? And we get a couple of matching symbols. Oh. So in 4 rounds' time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Losing that on Saturday. And just remind me on hasten. To hasten a timed effect, move its timer token closer to the day token as many spaces as specified on top of any previously placed tokens. If the timer token reaches the day token, resolve the timed effect immediately. So actually, it's worse. Like, if I take on observation, communication, or... what's the book? It's not law, is it? Knowledge checks. That's a day I've lost on this skill. I've got inner fire. I don't want to do studious, talky things. I want to be adventuring and stealing and fighting. So that's what I've gained from that. And something has gone into the event deck that maybe those people will return in a future scene. We go back to Rach's turn, so the day advances. Drag it over on the old game board.
So you were coming to help me, but I'll be doing mine.
Oh yeah.
You can get there. You didn't think about
There was
that.
no point to that, was there?
But you could pinch the mission if you feel like, well, or you could just run through. We'll see.
Because you can pick up the mission as well, like as soon as you get in there.
Oh, and
Yeah.
do my other thing.
Yeah, in the travel step, at any point in the middle of your movement, before or after it, you can trade with other players in the space that you're in, and you can pick up quests. So you could pick quests up just on the way through if you wanted to keep moving. Yeah, I should have gone to a different place.
I'll pick up the mish. So do I take this? Or does it stay there?
It goes away now, because that token is just telling you, here's where you can grab a quest. So if you pick that up, so what we could see from the notice board was just what the person's posted.
So bunged it on. I'm looking for a person who gets on with kids and acts when faced with injustice. Sephakar, the step polecat. Sounds like me.
So yeah, you pick up that quest, yeah, and you immediately fill it up with cards from the quest slot that's here. So there.
What do you mean? Just pick one?
Yeah, just pick up the next one, face down.
But it's Meritu again.
Into the display. It's all shuffled.
You can just come and get that.
There's another quest in Meritu available. So you can flip that over now and get some information. Now you've agreed to it.
School of Life. We offer street kids education and a daily warm meal for free at our New Life charity school. Our headmaster expelled 2 of our students after they witnessed him stealing money from the school. Please find the kids from their usual street and persuade them to testify. We need the money back desperately. And that's in Reinstrom.
So
Wow, that's convenient.
Yep, that's...
Place a crying face on the notice board. What's that mean?
That's, I think that's if you abandon it.
Oh. Well, why would I abandon that?
Yeah. Because you can only have 3 quests on the go.
I've got 2, so that's not too bad.
And you choose what you get rid of as well.
And then I will do my main quest.
Okay, so you're in Meritu. The main quest is Story 91.
Visit the station. While approaching the ranger station, you eye the surrounding forest. As you recall, a lot of Sophron's behavioural evidence came from this place. He was always vague on the details, but you know he had some kind of study around here. Finding it could shed light on your squirrel friend and his mysterious will as well. A pair of polecat rangers run up to you. "You Caradai?" one asks. "Some Oriner asked us to help you. Let's go find that cottage or whatever." Ah, there's the polecat spirit you always found so fascinating, always ready to explore the unknown. Apparently, these two think they can find the adventures they crave here in the woods, but you won't back down from a challenge either. You only need to pick the best approach. So I can explore the forest, which I have got a reroll for, or ask around at the station. So I've got a reroll, but my dice are pretty dire for explore. So I feel like I would ask around the station.
And it's a communication check,
Yeah.
which you're always better at.
Yeah. So, this dice.
So you're asking around the station.
I'm asking around the station. Sure. That's not very good.
You got 1, and you can convert a book. So you've got 2 and a reroll, or...
Reroll everything.
I wonder if you could do both. I wonder if you can do that and then decide... I want to reroll the whole thing and then get to use it again. I'm not sure.
Well, that'd be like doing it 2 times.
I don't think it says that you can't.
Right, I've got two faces.
The same effect cannot be used more than once per skill check.
I would assume
that makes more sense.
What am I doing? What am I doing? Asking around at the station.
So you convert the book into 1 then.
Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking at. I can't remember what.
Yeah, you could do it with 2 books, couldn't you? That's extra books. And you can.
Well, no, it just says convert 1 book.
Yeah.
Hang on, this is gonna have more chance, isn't it? That was an eyeball. Was it an eyeball?
So there we go. So is that 4?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep.
Because you can convert 2 books into a thing, surely.
Oh, I'm just converting one of the icons into a...
I'm sure you're allowed to do that. Well, not sure, but I'm going to assume. It seems to me... Oh, that's not the thing to click. That's the streaming screen. Oh, you only needed 3 anyway, which you rolled.
You interview the folks, finding just the right ways to jog their memories whenever needed. Some remember seeing an old squirrel around, while others say they've heard peculiar noises in the forest. One of the rangers even hands you some interesting equipment she found a while back. After a bit, you're certain you've pinpointed the location and leave the 2 polecats there.
No, I don't think you could do it more than once, just like...
I can swap one of my skill marks. Oh.
To convert 1 book into a success, if you've got 2 books, you'd just use one of them on the dice, wouldn't you? Not so you turn it into 2 successes.
I'm not going to swap.
Yep. So it's saying swap because you're only ever got 4 skill marks. So you can choose where you want those to be and spread them out a bit.
And I feel
or
like
you can just keep them as they are.
I would like that choice. I'm a scholarly northern banded newt.
Okay. So you're not going to swap.
The clearing you arrive in is beautiful. The pristine air is refreshing, as is the change of pace in the entire experience. Or, should you say, adventure. Perhaps the polecat spirit is contagious. Whatever it is, you've always appreciated new challenges. There are no cottages in sight, though, only pristine forest. or mostly pristine, as the rangers are busy observing the signs of life all over. It should be the right place, but perhaps there's something you're missing. So I can observe the clearing or deduce the study's location.
If you observe, you can re-roll up to 2 dice.
I've got none of those keywords, so I can either do an observation check or a knowledge check. I'm going to do a knowledge check probably.
Okay.
Because I stuck with the
You've
knowledge.
You've got better dice for knowledge.
So
but
it would make sense. And they're just as hard as each other, so
yeah.
I may as well choose the one. I just don't get an extra reroll. That's right, isn't it? The dice is. Yeah. 2, yeah. Oh, that was books. Okay.
So you've got 4.
Well, that seems like a good shout.
Okay. Yep, 4 is the best.
Your ability to see correlations is impeccable, and the answer soon becomes as clear as the sky above. Sophron had many theories on ancient squirrels, and consensus says they lived in trees. Indeed, there's a tree house hidden in the foliage above. Inside you find the notes left by Sophron, detailing the archaic way of life he studied here. One notebook talks about you, specifically the debates the two of you had on the extent primal nature directs folks. He also mentions stashing something in his house in Rienstrom following your departure, and also a hidden room. Looks like you're going there next, sensing a familiar feeling of excitement emerging as you're in your element once more, about to unravel a mystery. Earn 2 prestige. So I'm heading there anyway, so if you'd gone there I could have helped you with some stuff maybe. Never mind. So return that. Get 63. Dum-de-dum-dum-dum. There's a lot of cards.
But you could have just done like an event card or visited the ranger station.
Yeah, and then yeah. Well. Oh, I've got adventurous now. The status.
Yeah.
And 225.
Got the next stage of your quest.
So I located Saffron's study, if you can call it that. They found notes which again mentioned you, as well as a hidden stash in his home in Rienstrom. That could be what he dedicated to you in his will. You should pay a visit to find out. Visit his home. Okay. So that's gone. That was it on there, because you weren't there.
Right then, I'm just going to run through then. I'll pick up the quest on the way through, because I might as well. So we need another quest. Rach. It's got Rebel Uprising. Orin's ruling elite families have trampled us common folks for too long. No more should they be allowed to abuse our laws for their gains. It's time for a revolution. Join me and my hundreds of brothers and sisters in the march to end this tyranny. We must put them out of power. From Journeying Beyond the Chicken Revolutionary in Arhin. It's down there, isn't it?
It's unfortunate.
So I can go and join the revolution down there. That sounds good. For now, though, I'm on some trees.
I suppose like you wouldn't necessarily be rushing your main quest, because doesn't that carry over as well?
Yeah, everything. You keep your quests. So, and you're better off doing them together because you would get twice the prestige that you would normally get. So I am on forest, so this event card is going to be 54.
I'll stash that for now.
Does the library have 282 available?
I would reckon so, but let me confirm. It does indeed.
On your way through the woods, you hear faint, desperate meowing. A short investigation reveals that the cries are coming from a copse of nearby trees. Trekking over, you see an orange cat yawning on a branch near eye level, but the sad meowing is coming somewhere above you near the treetops. The orange tabby peers lazily at you under the brim of his hat, curious as to why you've disturbed his nap. Kenzie is at it again. Little Roddick loves to climb, coming down less so. I've tried to teach him, but you know kittens. The cat does an enormous, very satisfying looking stretch, ignoring the piteous meowing as he scratches behind his ear and goes back to sleep. I'll owe you one if you get him down for me. Have I got a toy tag I don't think so, no. Nope. So I can climb the tree to rescue Kenzie, medium survival. Convince Kenzie to come down, hard communication. Well, yeah, communication I'm rubbish at. Whereas climb, I've got a couple of abilities for climb, actually. So we'll do a medium climb check. So I need... It's this, isn't it? That's a survival check. So climb, I get a success from my inner fire, and I can reroll up to 3 dice. So that's not too bad. So we want survival, and there's a ton of survival.
Pretty good roll.
And I can reroll up to 3. Just in case we need a million of them. No better on that reroll from me hiking boots. But that's 6, isn't it? With the inner fire. Best outcome was 4. Pretty good dice rolling luck, I think. Climbing trees is nothing compared to other feats you've achieved. Leaping from branch to branch, you notice in the corner of your eye the orange cat giving you a surprised look. In the flash of an eye, you've reached the source of the distressed mewling, an adorable cream-coloured kitten. Kenzie must have been convinced by your display of agility, as he fully trusts you to carry himself back down to safety. On the ground, Kenzie jumps to the orange cat's arms, purring loudly before rustling through their backpack. The cat introduces himself as Eddie. Thanks for saving the little buddy of mine, really appreciate it. Seems like Kenzie wants you to have one of his prized possessions. As you two seem to get along so well, we'd be happy to join you for a while. Kenzie can get a bit demanding, but as long as he's happy, I'm happy too. So, we've got some stuff. Oh, I've got some stuff. Charm.
Oh.
So can help me with... It's a lucky relic that can help me with sneak, force, and climb.
Get that in your backpack.
My backpack's full now.
Little key ring.
And here's Eddie and Kenzie. Of the feline duo, Eddie is clearly the more collected one, while Kenzie is mostly interested in having plain old fun. So in observation skill check, get 2 successes.
It's adorable.
And I've got night vision. Unfortunately, they aren't lasting long enough to go into the next scenario.
Unless it says delay 1, is that the opposite of hasten? So
yeah.
if you use it,
so if I do climb checks, they'll stay with me for longer. That's good.
Now you'll start specifically hunting for the climb checks.
Keep going into the forest, and the event card went back into at the bottom of the event deck. And that's another day done. We're on Thursday. Rach, what are you up to?
So I'm going to head on over. Boom. Don't want trade yet, do we? Boom.
I don't think we really need to.
No.
You've got stuff that helps you at stuff you're good at.
So I'll do an event at the grasslands, maybe.
Okay, so is it Thursday? Yes.
It's Thursday.
So straight away, 121.
Boom. I'll take that, thank you. While sleeping at an inn, you are startled awake when someone thrusts a bag over your head and knocks you out. You awake in a room dimly illuminated by a candle. You have been restrained and bound to a chair. Standing before you is an aardvark and a purple frog. Good to see you're awake, the aardvark whispers in a voice of lethal velvet. Seems you've been interrupting someone's operations. They asked us to teach you a lesson. You tell them this must be a case of mistaken identity. The purple frog frowns. You sure? The sketch looks pretty spot on. He shows you a piece of paper that bears a poorly drawn caricature that, admittedly, does look like you. How will you escape? Keep the adventurer's figure's closest settlement in mind. You can use...
Your closest settlement is Rienstun.
Yeah. Move me off the game board. Goodbye, I'm gone.
Do you have an underworld tag?
No.
No. You cannot discard your items. So you can talk yourself out, medium communication, rip off the restraints, hard might, or bribe them to let you go for 7 gold. Well, communication checks.
I was going to say I'm pretty good at that, really. So maybe I'll just do that. Not having half my money.
So a medium communication check. There is a market in Rienstun.
Here we go. That's
So,
unfortunate.
what did you want? Communication. So
Reroll.
that's 2 and a single reroll. But yeah, you could probably do better than that. There you go, way better. So you
So
can
I've got
convert the book into a
3.
success, and you can reroll.
Yeah, 4.
I'd reroll the books. Because the books have got
Oh yeah,
a 1 in 3.
I did that last time and then realised it was a 10.
So that's still 4, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, yeah, sorry, yeah, 4, sorry.
So talk yourself out. 4 successes.
You cast uncertainty on the kidnappers, as the longer you gab on, the more they'll believe you. Even the hard stare of the aardvark erodes away into concern that her and her partner may have just messed up their job. We should let them go, the purple frog suggests. They will not be paying us for roughing up some random stranger. His partner gives a slow nod, trying to hide her frustration. They release you and take you to the exit. The aardvark hands you some gold and something that might be relevant to you. Take it, they up. And we will call ourselves even. As you leave, you overhear the 2 thugs try to figure out how they messed up their abduction and how they have a deadline to meet. Earn a prestige. Get 2 gold. Thank you.
You go to the closest settlement, so you're in Rienstum now. You get 249 if it's there. And then 2, you need...
Return that.
Yeah, pop that back in and get 254 out. Put that on the green screen, we can have a look at it while you're doing that. So, a wanted poster. Which is shady. Only Keradai can use this card. Oh, is the one for each of us. Oh, you wanted?
It didn't know I was Keradai.
You're probably supposed to take the one relating to you, I imagine.
Well, I accidentally did that.
Wasn't there? So you're better at
yeah.
intimidating and fighting now, but oh dear.
Shuffle that into the event deck. Well, there's no negative, is there? There's no negative on that. Oh, unless when I intimidate and it doesn't go well, I'm going to get something happening.
Whenever you intimidate, you've got to roll the d12.
Oh, is that what that means?
And if you get a 1 or 2, something's going to happen. There's going to be a quest to maybe arrest you.
Bring it on. There we go.
Right. So that's everything from there.
Yeah, that's me.
End of scene. So I'm going to go to Rienstum.
I'm there.
Yeah. So you can do this, but now you cheated me out of 2 prestige.
Not on purpose. How have I done
So
that?
my quest.
How have I done that?
You should have waited for me in Meritu. I waited for you in
You
Rienstum.
did not wait for me. I got kidnapped.
I could have been here a turn ago. This scene is still a work in progress. In Western Rienstum, you stand in front of a most ordinary door. It is wooden and plain like the entire neighbourhood, and you feel yourself hesitate. You look at the pendant again, quite certain an identical one lies inside, but you have to confirm this, as otherwise you might come to regret it. You realise now that's the one thing you dread more than what else awaits inside. Indeed, beyond the door lives your family, your boring family, stuck in their ways, trudging on in the same ways, in the same place. What? Stay, please. They lived here when you were born, when you left, and still now, unchanging, unchallenged. You shudder at the thought. Merely visiting is always a stressful affair. Then again, perhaps this meeting can still be avoided. So I can greet my family for an easy communication check, or sneak inside without being seen. So I have got... Yeah, if I do communicate, it makes my inner fire run out faster, and I have got one thing that helps with sneak. I've got a couple of dice for it. It's just medium though.
How do I help you? Because I've got a sneak keyword.
Oh yeah, you can share all of that with me, can't you?
So I've got a sneak keyword here.
Reroll it to 2 dice.
Do I roll any dice, or do you roll the dice?
I roll the dice still, but I can use your ability. I can use your skills as well, but so I could use your observation point that would give me
Instead of your observation.
A dice. I haven't got an observation point.
No, but like you just pick and choose which one's near that on
It's as if I've got your skill point.
and add it onto yours.
No. Well, yeah, just on top. I've got your skill on top of mine. But you can never have more than 2 of a skill because there's not... Well, them's the rules. And there's not enough dice. So I can have those as special dice, and then we're going to have 2 normal. And so, yeah, I can use my lucky charm. And Rach's rerolls if I need to. So what have we got here? We want sneaks. I've got nothing. So we'll reroll that whole thing. And what have we got now? 1. Rach.
Reroll up to 2
Roll up to 2 of them. Or reroll the sneak die. And this die then. So there's 3.
And you get another one.
The inner fire gives me another success. So that's just 4. I can use my charm. But I've got a 1 in 3 chance of losing a success. Of failing. I can add more potentially. There's more chance of adding more, but I've already got 4, so I think that's a bit too risky. I'm just going to stick with 4, I think. And yeah, 4 was the best. Sneaking inside the house comes as easy as it did back in the day. On a whim, you take a detour through your old room, still mostly how you left it. You even find your old stash under the floorboards. Moving on, you reach your objective, the old family heirloom, a stone pendant you always thought a useless trinket. Looking closely, you confirm that it's identical to the one you found. Flipping the coins you found in your paw, you head to the one person who could explain this. You and your partner gain 3 gold.
I'm rolling in the G's.
Then later you find your great aunt Awira sitting by her lonesome in a nearby park, just like you remember. She's your oldest living relative, likely one of the eldest folks in the whole city. If someone knows, it's her. Teshun, you say? She drawls. My, our family lived there back in the day. Huh? You thought they've always been in Reinstam? 'Twas before the wars. Cowardly Gemzedians. How ever tell you how I met the infamous godmother? Right, you always had a tough time with her rambling. Help her recall your family history, or endure her rambling. Well, again, I lose my inner fire if I do the knowledge check. So I'll do the survival check. Endure, though. I don't think I've got anything for help either.
I can help you with that, but I could have helped you with recall. With a couple of things.
I don't think it's recall, it's help. It's like the first word of the skill check, I think. So, yeah, there's nothing I could do here. I'm just going to have to endure, which, yeah, I've got no ability to help with that. But I've got more dice, I guess. So, this, and I've got my trusty standard reroll. So something. Hey, Chuck, wait for your Kickstarter to arrive. I hope it comes soon. Oh, there we go. I'm not going to risk the reroll. There's 5 right there. Awira rambles on, but you stand steadfast in the face of hardship, determined to see this through. Your adventurers remind me of ours back in Teshun, she finally says. We were famous then. Those tunnels we built were full of loot and smuggled goods. As she goes on, your concentration wavers. Your boring old family did that. The same family who scolded you for wandering to Shabar when you learned to walk. You start questioning your decisions, thinking what else you've missed. While you think, Awira talks about another story, about a wise polecat living atop a mountain in Yezdan offering guidance. Hearing that, you find your resolve again. You'll meet that polecat and get to the bottom of this, or top, whatever it takes. You earn 2 prestige, and Rach gets 2 prestige. So my quest goes back to the library. I'm getting some cards from the library, and Rach is getting a card as well.
So we both get determined, which is the status. Are we allowed unlimited of these?
Yeah. You've just got slots for your items.
So we could discard the card to get a success.
You can't have multiple of the same one as your only restriction.
And we can use this to get rid of the afraid.
Still got my starting status as well. Running out of space on Cameras are showing more.
And then the quest now says the stone pendant and your great aunt Awira's tales brought to light family history you never knew about. As a result, you feel more conflicted than ever before. For guidance, you should seek out the wise polecat atop a mountain in Yezdan.
Okay.
That's for you.
And that's another day. So end the scene on here. We're on Friday. And Rach, you're in Reinstoom. Which, like, we can zoom in. I think, unfortunately, Reinstoom's
Of life.
okay.
This bad boy. So
We've already seen that, haven't we?
we're going to look for the kid, and Tom can help me.
291.
You're at the street named in Zephykar's note with no sign of the kids. You flag down a vervet monkey riding on a donkey, asking if she knows the area. I know it well. You explain that you heard urchins lived on this street. They do. The fur folk points to a 3-story guild house, now abandoned. The 2 top floors have caved in, but you take a side stairwell to an underground floor. Inside the rubbish-strewn room, dozens of kids huddle together in the dusty darkness. You announce that you are looking for Stoogie and Ihel. They want that you want to help. One of them, a warra fox, coughs. Oh, fat chance! You're here to trick us into labouring. It must be a common occurrence, as all the children shy from you.
Do you have a surprise tag?
I do not have surprise.
No.
Boo.
Search the room for the kids. Easy observation. Intimidate the kids to cooperate. Easy communication. Or tempt the kids to come forward with money.
Now if I intimidate, I'm going to have to do my wanted poster.
Money.
My
Yeah, and you'll hasten my inner fire, which is running out tomorrow
You're
anyway.
saying my money?
You got loads of money.
I
Chuck
suppose
the
if I
kids some
searched
money.
and then if I searched and then didn't get 4, I would lose adventurous.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll chuck in some change.
Although I've got adventurous as well, which I'll add to
1,
it.
2, 3. Chuck in some change.
Oh, clicking the wrong thing.
Show money. Some come forward first to claim the reward, but they don't look like the kids you're looking for. So you send them away until one pair of children, embodying the note's description of them, steps up to you. One of them, a tiger gecko, asks for the gold. I'm Stoogie and my brother here is Ihel. She pats a little owl, who gives a wet cough. What do you want? Oh. You give her the coins and tell her that Zephyr wants to clear their name. The 2 nod. At the school, you take the kids to Zephyr the polecat, who hears their story. She calls a guard patrol and then confronts Murak, the magpie headmaster. He gives his side. I was upstairs in the indoor garden, which I'm in after every class. From up there I saw the 2 enter the school. I went down to see them and caught them in my office breaking open this cash box with their mitts. The box looks rather sturdy to be broken by a child, and your vague memories don't quite align with his words either. Do we have the scent tag?
Nope.
No.
Hey, Joel. Yeah, what would you have chosen at school, Rach?
What was the options? Intimidate.
Bribe him with money. I think it's gone now. I can't remember. You'd bribe him with money, wouldn't you?
Was it like search or something? It was like search, intimidate, 100%.
You can test the cash box's strength.
No,
Medium
that's
might.
Out. That's out.
I've got some might.
Yeah,
I haven't
but
got anything for test though. Recall the day of the crime. Hard knowledge. Or side with the headmaster.
No chance.
Recall.
If I recall, does that push your inner fire back or not?
Yeah.
Really?
But I think I'm about to lose it anyway. But
Yeah,
just
on the next day anyway, aren't you? Because it's...
Yeah, I just wouldn't have it for my turn.
But
I can't... Oh, you've got something on recall, haven't you? You've got a couple of things that help you with recall.
yeah.
But it is a hard check. You're going to need 3.
Well, that's 1, 2, 3 straight up.
Go on then.
Straight up immediately. So 2 books.
Like, is it just if I think it's if I choose one of those skill checks rather than... So that gets hastened, and we resolve its effect when the time runs out, which is discard.
A light blue. And then I need 2 blacks. Hang on, can I...
Yeah, you can use my 2 survival.
A yellow. Okay, but... Hang on. Instead of what?
Whatever.
No, I've got too many dices.
Yeah, you to roll black die.
Okay.
If you've got skills.
Now that's 4. Well, I saw you rolling them on here. I thought may as well. 4, 5,
And you can re-roll.
6, 7.
And you can re-roll.
Wow. The re-rolls didn't help.
So
But
7.
that's okay. 7. 7. No, yeah, 7. That was okay. And what was the number? What number?
5.
5, okay. Reaching back into your mind, you recall that day was cold and stormy. With the dark overcast, it'd be impossible for the headmaster to see the kids from the higher floor. Furthermore, with that day being the coldest of the season, no way would these unclothed street orphans be strong enough to smash a metal box without the help of a tool. The magpie sputters excuses as the guards haul him away. "We've been cleared!" Stuggy cheers. "Now we can attend the school again and try to better our lives." Ihel bounces up and down, clapping between harsh coughs. Zephakar passes you an item. "Thank you for clearing the children of this crime. Our school is glad to be rid of the rotten headmaster."
So the quest goes back, and we each get 2 prestige. You get 244. I get 211. No, you get 244, and then grab 211 and put it in the back of the quest slot.
2 on 1.
Yeah.
What do you mean at the back of it? As in the... This?
Yeah, the back of that.
Okay. That's gone in there for future. Where does this go now?
Back into the box. Into like the main
so I
library,
just
so that's
got
done with.
an accordion. Many instruments are affiliated with certain folk and their culture. Accordion's history stretches far back into squirrel folks' traditions and their merry harvest festivals.
So you gotta lose a card, right?
Well, can I lose the wanted poster? It doesn't say I can't.
Yeah, it doesn't say you gotta keep it, does it?
Goodbye, wanted poster, rip in half.
Just put them up here, I guess, for now. I don't know what happens with those cards yet. So it's my turn. So have I got anything to do in here? I want to go to Arhin or Yezdan, really. Although there's stuff in... The audio's gone. Pardon? Which one? Oh, that's strange. Where did that disappear to? Yeah, the audio's tied in with us on screen. That's strange. So yeah, we're talking about reintroducing, like, Rach has got her main quest is in here, so maybe I want to stick around and I could help her with that next time. So I'd like to go to the casino, but the arena and the market are partner abilities, so we might as well go there. So I'm going to go to the arena, which is number 23 in the book, because we're already in here. I don't have to move. So, in the arena, do you have a partner? Yes. Together you enter the grandiose entry hall of the arena, the gateway to the exhilarating, often violent displays the folks here love so much. You don't get far, however, before the lion announcer notices your entrance and rushes over. "Oh, you have a certain look on you," he says. "I know it as surely as I know my name is Rach, the king." He beckons you towards the ring. "You're here to put on a show for these humble action-craving Rhiannons, aren't you?" Go as wild as you want. I'll make it happen. Which global status is in play? And this is basically, is it cooperative or competitive? It is cooperative. Harmony is in play. You and your friend are ready to give the folks something to cheer about, starved for action as they are. Working together, you shall put on a show worthy of the premises. Very, very good, says the lion. I've got 2 great ideas already for us to choose from. What'll it be? You cannot trade or use any of your partner's possessions. So is that everything, or it's just your items? I can imagine that's everything, isn't it? Yeah. All of your stuff's classed as possessions. And you will perform the same check afterwards. Well, this isn't good because we're good at kind of opposite scenes. So, convince and sneak.
Well, I've got cards that help me with either.
I lost my card that helped me with sneak. I'm pretty terrible at convince, so I'll probably try sneak. I'd get a couple of dice at, the other thing I wouldn't, and I could use my charm and just hope. So sneak, I suppose. And we count our results together. So my sneak check, I can use a sneak die and a might die, and then we've got to fill in the gaps with just standard ones. So, loads of sneak, please. That's pretty amazing. And again, I don't think I want to use my charm and risk losing one. I can't reroll individually, have to reroll the whole thing. And I've got, yeah, a 1 in 3 chance of losing a success rather than adding anything. 4's pretty good, I think. I'm going to stick with 4. Rach, what have you got for sneak?
Nothing. I get a blue dice.
That's good.
So then I just need to use 2 black dice. So don't forget. I need another one.
I had 4.
Yeah.
You needed sneak, Rach.
So I can reroll everything, can't I?
Yeah.
Let's do that first. I have got other rerolls.
So you got 1, and then you can reroll up to 2.
Yeah.
Remember, you've got your determined as well,
What's that? Oh yeah.
and your power of mind. You could
I just messed that up. I just picked them all up. They were. I'll reroll them because they weren't there.
For power of mind, you could use power of mind and say, "Oh, actually, this is a different check."
Yeah, but it's before
Before
skill.
it,
I
yeah.
forgot. Never mind.
So you got 1. You could stop being determined to get 2.
I'll get 2.
So you had 2, I had 4. So we've got 6 skill checks between us. Not very good. Your host takes you backstage. In a whisper, he gives you 2 your instructions. Try sneaking into the crowd and taking as many hats as you can off the fans' heads before getting caught. The more the better. Get out there. Pressure grinds on you and your partner as you penetrate into the crowd without being seen. Each move you make nearly gets you caught. After nabbing a handful of hats, you are spotted. The crowd simmers with a limited amount of joy. The lion tries to hype the crowd up a little, but can't coax any more excitement out of them. With a shoulder shrug, he gives you both coins. Congratulations! The gold is gratifying, but you feel as if you could have done better. 4 gold each.
You win some, you lose some.
So, it is Saturday. Or second to last day. Rach, you've got a quest.
You just got a little
In
sub.
range to, haven't you? Hey, Alejandro. You've got a quest here, haven't you? Rach, you're in range stream. You've got a quest here, haven't you?
Yes.
What's the number?
95. Saffron's home lies near the market at the cross-section of the city's rich and poor, an apt location for behavioural study. One such opportunity is just occurring right at the front door, where a small crowd of mostly polecats and raccoons surrounds a lone gorilla. "Let us in already!" a raccoon shouts. "The owner's long gone." He points at the nailed-shut windows. "I told you," the gorilla says. "I was paid to hold the key for someone, and that's what I'll do." You ask if that someone is Caradai, and her eyes widen in surprise. "Wait, I'm Caradai," a voice from the crowd shouts. "No, I'm Caradai." Another retorts, "Lies." Chaos ensues, leaving you without an option to try to talk sense to the gorilla.
Snatch the key from the gorilla, force a window open, or pay for a key. I can't help you with any of
Well,
those
I would say rubbish,
symbols.
rubbish. So I'm going to have to pay.
But I can give you skills. So you would have 3 special dice to do the sneak check. Actually, you would have 4 special dice to do the might check.
I'm going to pay.
Because you can use my skills.
I'm going to pay. I've got 20 gold.
I think that's your max, isn't it?
Don't know. Either way, I'm paying.
I'm not sure how far the wheel goes, actually. It's probably more. It's a big wheel.
Pride has a curious effect on behaviour, but so does currency. All you need to do to resolve the situation is to make a better offer, which the gorilla readily accepts. Why didn't you think of that? An exasperated raccoon asks another as they follow you to the door. You know I have no money, he retorts, or the smarts, but she does. Let's go. The inside is as dusty as one could expect, with only modest furniture adorning the place. The crowd is already busy checking out the place and tapping on the floorboards. You'd have to find the hidden room before them, unless you want your findings to be tampered with. But how?
Search the place, medium observation, think like a squirrel, hard knowledge. Search and think. I can help with search. I can give you a success and a reroll.
Yeah, I think it's no
What are you good at?
I'm good at books, but the problem is... No, I'm not necessarily, I'm not necessarily good at books.
You'd have 5 special dice, but it's a hard check.
Yeah.
Medium, I can give you a special die.
Search.
Yeah.
So, what's that, eyeballs?
Yes, you got a dark blue, a pink, and a light blue, and then 2 normal. And my only... Oh, I've got 2 search things, actually. Oh, you've got adventurous as well, haven't you? So you definitely want to do search.
Yeah, so, yeah. And 2. So I've got 2 successes already.
Get more than 4.
Yeah. Well, I've got them eyeballs.
Yeah, I'd stick with that then.
So that's 4, 5, 6.
I can give you 1, and then the adventurous give you 1 as well.
Oh,
so
okay, so 7.
tons. For a medium check.
With immaculate precision, you examine your surroundings for anomalies, and in no time at all you spot something interesting above the old fireplace. The roofing is worn out in several spots, indicating frequent activity. That's all the evidence you need, and before anyone else realises what's going on, you push the planks aside and pull yourself into the hidden attic above. Inside the cramped space, you find a pile of various items and trinkets softened and stashed away, hidden here from prying eyes less keen than yours. And on the pile, you see a letter dedicated to you. Caradine, my friend, I know your inquisitive nature will lead you here. That's what your folk are known for, after all. That makes you a great scholar, but that's not all you are. That's not all you have to be. We may be distinct, but perhaps you've now realised we can become whatever we want, in our own ways. Go and see, adventure like the polecats. I know their ways always fascinated you, but learn from my folk as well, and prepare for the challenges ahead. Your mind races by the time you get to the scribbly signature. You've always challenged the limits, be they set by you or others, always thinking that was the mind of a scholar. But that's not it, that's just another limit. Softening you, and by now you realise you've always had it, the will of an adventurer. You turn back to the untouched stash. Time to see what the new you should look like.
So you can swap 2 of your skill marks for any other skill marks. Your quest goes back, and you get 2, 4, 4.
I don't know, I'm quite happy with my character, really. I like being a bit of a... I suppose the only ideal thing would be to move one of my things to communication. Or if I'm going to go heavy into books, do I then put something into survival? Because that's where that is. Or do I spread out?
What do you think, Rach?
I don't know. I think let's go. So it's like I've got nothing that would even make me want to survive anyway, so why would I put anything in survival? I think I'm going to stick.
Okay, so put the quest back and
I'm
get
happy.
2, 4, 4.
I'm happy with how I am.
Right. So I've got nothing else to do here. We've got one more day after this. I think I want to go down and support this rebel uprising. I'm going to go...
244?
Is it not there?
No.
Get a random 150 instead. So, yeah, I'm just going to head down there and go to Arhin next time, I think. So, an event for me. Shall I get up? What did you find, Rach?
I've got no quest now. I found a flute, which allows me to reroll up to 3 dice when I recall or convince.
It's not better than what you've got now, Rach.
See, like... No.
It's like a more even version of the accordion. 3 on each rather than a 4 and 2.
Yeah, maybe I'll swap, see. But that was 244. So that's what I would have got.
Yeah.
If I had not already had it. So this is just discarded.
Yep. So I'm on grassland. I'm just having a standard event. Passing by meadows and fields, you see a crane sitting at the water's edge with his back to you. You are about to pass by without incident, but your curiosity is perked when you hear sobbing. As you approach, the bird looks over his shoulder at you, tears pouring down his face. Asking him what happened, the crane raises his wings and shows you that the tips of his wings are stuck in a snark of dented manacles. Kidnappers abducted me a few days ago and put these on me. Then I escaped. He sniffs. But I cannot get them off my wings. I've tried beating them against rocks, but they will not let go of me. Do you have a lubricant tag? I do. Interestingly enough, on my miner's cap. This quest seems familiar. I don't know if this was in the playthrough. So, as we can see from the animation, I can do normal things, but I can lubricate the
You've
cuffs.
got shining stars all over it.
I've got to do the shining thing. Being inventive and trying the unorthodox, you lubricate the manacles and the victim's wings. With a tug, the bindings effortlessly slip off. Now free, the crane flexes the tips of his wings and gives his arm a flap. I'm free. Running around and cackling, the bird eventually wins himself, and settles down. Let me tip you here. I would never have thought of something that innovative. You are more clever than most. Passing you a coin, the bird returns to frolicking as you leave. After helping out the crane, you wonder what other problems you might be able to solve with your cunning. Earn a prestige, earn a gold.
You've already got 63.
63.
Which is adventurous.
I'm adventurous again. And the event goes to the bottom of the deck. There we go. Sometimes it helps to have some lubricant. And that's the end of Saturday. So, Sunday appears. Unfortunately, Eddie and Kenzie...
And Chimmy.
Eddie and Kenzie didn't get a chance to climb anything.
Oh.
They clear off. And, yeah, we've got our last...
Is this the last day?
I believe
I'm not
so,
even
yeah.
gonna get to pick up a thing. Oh.
So I'm going to make it to Arhin for the Rebel Uprising. And next time, you get to start anywhere. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to do, you could do something in Reinstrom
Event,
if you want.
please.
You want to do an event? You're in a
Yeah.
mountain.
Henty, yes.
Are you shocked?
No.
Settlement, grassland, mountain. 241. Does the library have 279 available?
I'll let you know. I do believe so. Yes. It's not often that you meet a Manul sitting on a large boulder by the side of a mountain. Oh, it's Marty. On the side of a mountain road, but it appears today is your lucky day. I'm Kasim. A pilgrim, sort of, explains the cat when you ask why he's sitting on a rock. He wraps his tail around his fingers nervously. There's an old mountain shrine nearby. Many travel to give offerings and receive blessings. It's a tradition started by the pirate queen Longclaw. Cassim puts his tail to his mouth and breathes fog through his thick tail. It's just I get easily lost. The last time I was outside a settlement, I couldn't find my way back for a month.
Do you have thievery?
No.
You can explore the mountains for the shrine, easy survival. Recall what you know about Longclaw, medium knowledge, or leave them and all.
Recall.
Okay.
So,
Maybe some knowledge.
2 gran.
You've got some
A blue.
recall abilities, haven't you?
2 black dice. And then... So I've got a straight up 4 there.
And you've got abilities.
So I can get a success, so I've got 5. Reroll. So 6. Reroll up to 3.
So 6.
6. You recall that Longclaw was a legendary red fox who used her reputation as a brutal and merciless pirate queen to avoid fighting as much as possible, leading to the many shrines constructed in her honour. These shrines, you remember, were always built on wide plateaus on the northern face of tall mountains. Perfect! Lead the way! Kasim extols as he clambers off the boulder and falls flat on his face. You soon find the place, and Kasim giggles as he scrapes the offered coins off the mossy stone shrine. Oh, they offer, I take, Kasim says, biting one of the coins. This has been a most profitable partnership. I have big plans for Arhin next. What do you say? Are you headed that way?
You earn a prestige, and you get 279. Who could it be?
Just in time for the end of the scenario, because I can start anywhere I want next time. Kasim is coming along with me, who is the clumsy master of stealth, but he has got a little quest that I need to do within 5 turns. But conveniently, I could start there at the start of the next game.
Right. So that's Rach, and I'm going to keep going to Arhin, and I'm going to participate in this revolution.
Don't stir it up there before I get down there. What's going on?
Well, it might not be there anymore. There is more unrest here than you could have ever imagined. Thousands of protesters surround the estate of the Blue Mills, the ruling family of Arhin, pressing tight against the outer gate. Folks are trying their best to climb over it and storm the property, but are sternly beaten back with lethal force by the house guards. We will no longer let the indifferent rich rule our city. A voice rises above all other sounds. A rooster bursts from the crowd and waves them forward. We need a government in service to the commoners' interests and controlled by the common folks. The rowdy crowd chants his name. Yearnin Yan. Yearnin Yan. He waves his wing again. Forward, my brothers and sisters. We need to get in. Do I have a tired tag? No.
Should have called him Churning Jan.
I'm tired. Force your way in, easy might, or observe an opening. I can do force. Yeah, not so good at the old
Both are
observing.
easy peasy.
Not so good at the old observing.
Oh, look, these have got... Oh, I haven't even been looking on there, have you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait a minute.
We had sent that whole time and you...
I know, I haven't been looking at those. Yeah, there's some on your card as well.
It took us the whole game to realise.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're doing an easy might check to force my way in. Okay, well that's... Is it worth re-rolling? I've already got 2. An easy check only needs 1 for the decent result. There's a chance that I could get more, or do I re-roll the whole thing and just hope? No, two's got to be worth
2's
sticking with,
surely
hasn't it?
okay for easy peasy lemon squeezy. You're not sure, are you?
Tempted to use the charm. No, I won't. Oh,
Oh,
whoa!
whoa. We've got loads of tents, so...
Were any gunpowder items
Oh.
used? None. No. But yeah, I've got to use the leftmost thing. I've got... oh, if you use gunpowder items, all your swords count as guns instead. I got survival, though. The estate's metal fencing isn't the strongest defensive position in the world, but the fence has held firm this far. Instead of trying to smash your way into the Blue Mill estate through it, why don't you try and climb over? Yep.
Oh, how annoying that you've got to climb now.
Oh.
Do you have to
Well, I can
re-roll
still
again?
re-roll things. So reveal the outcome. Oh no, let's
You
do
have
the
to
check
roll again.
first. So yeah, we've got to roll again because this is a different check.
Has
But
it climbs just appeared after?
yeah, unfortunately, I've lost my
Shame.
climbing people. It is. Let me just check, but I'm pretty sure it's like at the start of the day that you lose them. Like when it advances, you do what it says on the card, which is discard, isn't it?
Time to fetch some calendar. Bottom right.
Yeah. As soon as the day token reaches the timer
Yeah.
token, you resolve its thing. I just want
Just
to
a shame.
get my people and extend the thing. So I didn't get. I think that's a reroll there.
May as well re-roll on one.
Okay, that's better. And then I can use this to reroll up to 3 of them. And it's an easy check as well. Oh, there we go. I won't bother using the charm again. There's 5. So here we go. Once you are through the crowd and make it to the fence, you are up top in seconds. As fast as you can, you help other protesters get up and over, dumping more and more citizens into the Blue Mill's front yard as fast as you can. Guards near you weren't ready for the swift dumping of bodies and are overwhelmed. The protesters on the other side fight their way to the front gate and open it. Jurnin Jan rallies the populace forward. Nothing can stop the revolution. The guards fall back to the mansion's front doors. The whole of the protest moves into the perimeter, trying to get in through the front or side doors. At the other end of the property, the house militias from another of Arhin ruling family storms the place's rear. They wear the grey emblem of the Castamang family, older than the Blue Mills and wishing to implement new policies. You could help the citizens take control, or give the different house a chance at leading. Citizens.
Well.
The citizens of Arhin have grown tired of its effective oligarchy. Blue Mills, Castamangs, it doesn't matter. No more ruling families. Do you have a populist tag? No. No. Definitely not. I can intimidate the inner guards. That's a hard communication. No chance. I can reroll 1 die in an intimidate. I can unlock the side door. A hard thing and unlocks, not a good thing. Or with my 18 money, I could give the guards 6 of it. I think I'll go for that.
Good shout.
The house guards at the front have uneasy looks when you flash gold to them. Daringly, you reach forward and put it into their pockets and tell them to go home to their families. They drop their weapons and ditch their post. You did it. Jurnin Jan cause. It's over. Jurnin Jan and his rebels get inside the mansion before the Castamang forces have a chance to move in. Instead of fighting for it, the Castamang troops leave peacefully. The protesters erupt in a sea of cheers as the Blue Mills sign a document renouncing their leadership and leave Jurnin Jan to set up a fledgling democracy for the city and its first election. You earn 2 prestige. Return... Oh! Arhin is changing. It's... Realised sound was going to disappear then. Its location card is changing. This goes back to the library, card number 74. And instead, so what's changed? The Resistance HQ instead of a library that we can go to. And take 303 from the library and put it at the back of the quest slot, because this was part 1. This also goes back to the library. This was Rebel Uprising part 1.
I mean, the quest library is pretty big.
A lot of quests in there. And then that's the end.
Did this go back in as well?
Yeah, they're both going back in the library. And so, the day passes. We've got another event token here, but that is the global status card, which tells us not to discard it, but instead, gathering event 200. After all the excitement, challenges and adventure, it's time to unwind for a moment and reflect on your travels. How many adventurers were in this game? 2. How many have an isolated tag? None. You two adventurers decide to punctuate your recent escapade properly and head to an inn to celebrate and trade tales of your personal epics. A nearby inn should suffice for this night of revelry. You find one whose lights are on and is rumbling with the sounds of laughter and music. Throwing open the door, you enter inside. The festivities lull for a second as everyone impulsively casts their gaze at the door. If you agree, you can collectively pay and choose to throw a party. You can also trade golden items during the scene. Well, Rach, you've got 15. You can afford 10
Well,
for
I'm
a
paying
party
the
there.
whole thing.
I'll chuck 2 in.
No,
I'll
you
pay
won't.
half.
5. Well, I could pay 6.
Go on then.
7.
You paying 7?
And what if you pay then 3? What would you be on then?
8, I think. Did I just have
Yeah.
11? If I paid 5, I would be on 7. So I think I would have 9 if I only paid 3.
Just do that.
Party time. How much prestige did you get in total? Well, we got
lot.
quite a lot, actually. We got
13 out of 12.
25. Wow. Seems pretty good. Well, we partnered up on some things as well. So, like,
It is like real life. I always pay a little bit more.
dropping a mountain of coins, you ignite possibly the greatest party in all of Galzyr. Word spreads about a host of legendary figures buying everyone drinks, and a colossal amount of folks join your party. You, along with the folks you have influenced over your travels, have a truly amazing party with no end in sight. As your party is enjoyed by the common folk, one angry baboon comes forward, stinking of sour milk and flecks of mouldy bread in his fur.
What? Are you saying I do him?
Yeah,
I tell
probably.
you, nothing is good about adventuring. You should all quit now.
He goes on to brag about how he's lived a boring, uneventful life where he never mattered to anyone and is known for doing nothing. You look at each other, mutually understanding that you are determined to never end up like that baboon. Give 62 from the library to each non-isolated
Wow.
adventurer.
I hate to say you've already got it.
I'm already determined.
I'm now determined again.
Word spreads fast that multiple celebrities are hosting a party, and folks from kilometres around run to join. The inn can't hold the number of participants, and the festivities spill out into the surrounding area. Folks beg to get autographs from each of you, and the lineup for them lasts well into tomorrow. It would seem all of you are now staples of Galzyr's culture. Beloved as any fairy tale, and influential as any politician. You are legendary. End of game. So we unlocked Reunion and Legendary. Where's Legendary?
Which
There it
shows
is.
the power of harmony.
There we go. So, end of game. I don't know if it tells us any instructions on here, does it? Oh, it does. So this is in the rulebook as well. But the stuff that you need to do, remove all of the time tokens on everything without doing their effects. So Rach keeps her adventurer with her.
Boom.
And then you look at any save effects. So anything that might have this symbol on it, like your player board, which says take 000 from the library.
That doesn't exist.
Is that not in there? Oh, is it? That's for the start of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the start of your starting quest is 0, isn't it? So that's just telling you for the start. So, like, for saving your game, you do all of the effects on your boards. If the card has a save effect, it's always at the bottom of a card. I don't think we've got anything that has
No.
a... Oh, we've got, on April over here, it's telling us, when you're saving, replace this card with card 5. Basically, can you guess what card 5 was if April was card 4?
Can you believe it? It's May.
It's going to be May. Still summer next time, but time moves on with us. So you've got your own save slot in the box that has your quests, items, companions, and statuses. So everything that, all the cards that you had basically in front of you go behind your divider. Everything else that's left over, so like the Harmony card. Oh, you get your ability back if you've spent your ability. So yeah, the other things here, we've got the quests that are still on the notice board. The global statuses, the event deck, and the locations from the board. all go behind
Yeah, there's a one with a world on it.
all go behind like the world divider, and then everything else goes back into the box. You want to just make sure you don't knock your like these.
Where do these discarded cards go?
They go back into the library.
Okay.
I would assume. Like all of these skill tokens, they're pretty. They're just pegs in the board, but they're pretty fastened in. They get pushed in nice and tight, and the wheel is pretty stuck in place as well. So yeah, try not to knock them, because that's your gold and your skills for next time. And so yeah, you could like. It's telling you, do you want to play? It's probably going to tell me this now anyway, because I didn't answer its question, did I? Do you want to play another game? Not right now, thanks. So yeah, it told me the rest of the stuff. Saving complete. Thank you for playing.
Dun, 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 dun,
So there we go. The rest of the stuff will be put away very soon. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us for some Lands of Galzyr. Now, next, I'm not sure. We won't be here next Friday because we're not here. But yeah, if you're up for it, then I'd like to continue our journey into the Lands of Galzyr. Next time, we're doing some story time. 2 weeks' time. That's still before Essen as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's the 30th. That's the weekend before Essen, isn't it? Because yeah, this is going out to backers. I think you can still pre-order and stuff. I don't think it's made it to shops yet. Definitely not in the UK. But yeah, it's going to be at Essen from Snowdale Design, and hopefully, you know, the Dale of Merchants games and accessories. You can get stuff for this as well. You can get sleeves for it. You can get a playmat for it. Yeah, there's Dale of Merchants. I've done videos as well for Dale of Merchants and Dawn of Peacemakers, both fantastic games. Set in the same world, very different games though. Dale of Merchants is a deck building game, but a deck building game where you have to deconstruct your deck towards the end. You build it up to be great, but you need to take it apart to form your stalls, your merchant stalls. And Dawn of Peacemakers is a cooperative game that there's nothing else really like. There is an AI controlled war game going on around you, and you are players trying to mess up the armies, but just get in the way enough and change their tactics and put them off enough for them to call off the fight, and you're peacemakers. It's fantastic, and there's like an ongoing story and stuff to unlock in that as well. Yeah, you can see playthroughs for both of them, both set in the same world, from the same publisher and same designer. Well, there's a co-designer. Sammy designed both of the other games in this, and Seppo also designed Lands of Galzyr. But yeah, check all of that stuff out. It'll be available at Essen. It'll be available online and in shops at some point, I reckon. But yeah, we'll hopefully be back for some more. I'm going to Essen? No, not this time, unfortunately. But many Essen games are coming to me, and will be coming very soon. Like next week. I'm not sure exactly. At least Great Western Trail Argentina will be coming next week. But another one as well. I'm not quite sure which one. Maybe it'd be Village Rails. Tyletum arrived as a surprise the other day as well. So that'll be coming up at some point for Essen. Loads of great Essen-y things. For now, though, I think it's time to pack Galzyr away and have some dinner. I'm hungry. It's getting late. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I will be live again next week. You can see my post on Monday for when that's going to be. And yeah, until then, have a good weekend, have a good Friday and stuff. Thanks, everyone, and see you very soon. You can support us on Patreon and Ko-fi and that. It's all linked in the description. I remember all of the things. Thank you, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.